The people who are storming the field are, and if they're still in the chat, they can explain it on YouTube, but they are 18, 19, 20 Gen Zers born 2000, 2 to 2006 in that range.
Yeah.
College students right now. And since I've got one of them, I know what his life was as a Husker fan, that I brought him into this world, and he's a Husker fan because I said, hey, look, this is really fun. Do it with me. We'll have fun together. We'll have a lot of great times. And his earliest memories were at the end of the Bill Callahan era. His first game was the 2007 Kansas game at that point. And then the high points of his Husker life were the Jordan Westerkamp Hail Mary, I guess the Oregon win, the Michigan State wins, the 9-6 game, and the Brandon Riley one. That was it.
It's a small list.
And so I noticed I haven't said anything even in the last 8 years since he was older, than 11. And so, like, and he will tell you, and he's on the chat right now. He had a bunch of friends. I remember when he was probably, I don't know, when he was probably 13 years old, 14 years old, that they were, I mean, like Nebraska wasn't even cool. It was
Oregon.
Yep. It was Oregon. It was just, yeah, it was. And I remember during the Oregon game, the one that was in Eugene, right, where he was like, some of my friends are, going to, I don't remember doing what, but it was the second half of that game. And he's like, I'm going to leave. I'm not going to watch this game anymore. I'm like, I lost him, man. I lost him. And I didn't. He came back, and now he's a huge fan. But like, you've got to put yourself in their shoes, right? Like, they haven't ever had that chance to even like be happy and celebrate at this. So, like, he's on the chat right now. He said Michigan State snow game 9-6 is somehow one of the best memory in Northwestern Hail Mary. That's about it. So, like, they literally haven't been here before. And if that embarrasses you, I guess, like, I'm trying to understand the argument. That lowers the standards, and you're afraid about how that is going to look to the rest of the world. You know what? You know what lowers the standards and looks embarrassing to the rest of the world? Losing every damn game all the time.
Yeah.
That's a whole lot more.
That
is a whole lot worse. And they've been doing that over and over again. This is not, you're that worried about what that looks like to the rest of the world. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. And then this is a generation where, like I said, they stuck through it when their peers weren't doing it. And they're here now, and they want to celebrate. And they've got the people who are older than them in their life saying, no, this isn't it. This isn't, you're not, you might feel it, but this isn't big enough for you to feel this way. Well, how are they supposed to know, Josh? How are they supposed to know? When you watch on TV, you watch other games on TV, you watch college basketball, you've been to Nebraska basketball games where you storm the floor and it's fine. Yep. And it's great and it's celebrated. You watch other games, you watch other schools who are, I can't, what's a good example? I don't know. Somebody puts in, Oklahoma or whatever. You see it on TV and they're all doing it. You're like, wait, we can't do this because of what happened in the 90s?
1995.
10 years before I was born.
Yeah.
And you know what Johnny said to me too? Like, I tweeted a picture, and he talked to James Williams after the game, took a picture with him, and he was like, the players were so excited that we did it. The players were so excited. And here we are having a freaking stress attack at the end of every year that that Corey Barney is going to want to leave. That Dylan Raiola is going to want to leave. And we get their peers celebrating them on the field, and we're like, nope, you can't do that. You can't do that. That's too far. Yet the players love it, the students love it, and we're worried about how it reflects on us, the old generation who brought all these kids and players into this thing. It's embarrassing. Like, embarrassing if you didn't like it. If there's any of you who didn't like it in the chat, I disagree with you more than I've disagreed with you on anything before. It's so stupid.
Wait, is that true?
So stupid.
You disagree with them on this more than you did about, like, blaming coaches and talking about firing people?
100%. This is the worst thing you can do to stunt this program's growth. What a horrendous take. What a freaking horrendous take. And also, where in the F have you been for the last 15 years? To be like, oh, well, it's not enough success for us, right?
Yeah.
This is we've now embarrassed ourselves. Come on.
Yeah.
It's terrible. It is terrible. And so shout out at this point. Yeah, Johnny says on the tweet, he said, or on the chat, he says, I've stormed the court field 4 times since going to college. All 4 are my favorite moments of my collegiate career. So.
That's awesome. That's awesome. It's funny too, because, and D'Lo says it ain't beneath us. Like, I think that every now and then something happens with Nebraska football that reminds me of, like, their current status and their current state in things. And there are some folks, Jack, that it's just like, for whatever reason, the last 8 years, they have allowed themselves to be angry and mad about everything that's happening on the field.
Exactly. Like, what the hell is ever going to make you happy?
And then when they get the celebration and they get the moment, they're mad about the celebration.